Who would win in a battle of wits? Today we're going to break down who the stronger of the two are, their advantages, and who might have the upper hand in a direct confrontation or an all-out war. Handsome Jack is the CEO of Hyperion, a mega corporation that develops advanced weaponry, robots, and tech. Handsome Jack uses these assets to exploit planets for resources and maintain control over the entire populations. He's cunning, manipulative, and thrives in chaos, often using deception and intimidation to get what he wants. Now, Cecil Stedman, he is the leader of the Global Defense Agency, responsible for overseeing superheroes and protecting the world from global threats. He's calm, strategic, and excels at long-term planning. Cecil's challenges are often complex, ranging from supervillains to political conflicts, relying on intelligence, teamwork, and careful coordination to achieve his goals. Now, when comparing the two, Jack's advantages, they more or less lie in his technological resources and ability to exploit chaos, while Cecil's strength comes mostly from his tactical mind, control, and his ability to anticipate threats before they happen. These two powerhouses are nearly polar opposites in almost every way, but when it comes to direct confrontation and planning, Handsome Jack is likely to come out on top. Cecil is brilliant when he can rely on others to carry out his plans. He's similar to Amanda Waller in her role in creating the Suicide Squad, for those who have seen it, or played that game. I'm not even gonna get started on that, but he pulls the strings from the shadows and isn't willing to risk the deaths of anyone, if it can be prevented. But without Invincible, he is very limited in what he is capable of, opposed to Handsome Jack, who not only is willing to get his hands dirty, but enjoys it.
Screaming bandits are gonna die left and right. I can't wait.
Also being very good with guns, having tech that allows him to survive getting shot in the form of Hyperion shields. It's pretty much one-sided in a one-on-one confrontation. Not to mention he can also turn invisible. Hyperion pretty much has it all. But we're going to compare them with a full backing of their resources and influence. This should be like a more interesting take on this fight. This battle would be a war, both hiding behind their armies and commanding their respective sides on which moves to make, likely spanning a week or two before one of them is eventually killed. During this topic, we're going to use Invincible War level characters, and I'm giving Cecil both Invincible and Adam Eve, along with the heroes that fought in that arc. So, against Handsome Jack, the backing of Hyperion, Control Core Angel, and the Helios space station. Basically, full Borderlands 2 and full Invincible War characters. Now you're probably thinking, Soul, don't you think having Invincible in this fight is a little unfair? In which I would 100% agree with you, if Handsome Jack didn't have a trump card of his own. While each side fights this large-scale war, the Guardians of the Globe and heroes alike attacking the countless constructor bots and robots wielding grenades, firing rockets, and using powerful lasers. Almost like it was ripped straight out of The Incredibles. They did them robots dirty, bro. But the question becomes, how long can the heroes keep up with Jack's near limitless supply of robots? Cecil would likely realize there is an intelligence behind the robots and not just some random robot invasion, but someone planning behind the scenes. Seeing the moonshot launching mortar strikes would likely confirm his suspicions. Now, this is where things can bridge and go either way. Invincible in this arc is beyond furious with Cecil, so if the full-scale invasion starts and Invincible is listening to Cecil, then this might edge in their favor a little bit. During the arc in which we're using the characters from, this is the case, you know. Cecil and Mark's relationship is heavily strained, with Mark only listening out of necessity, even then allowing countless to die just because Adam Eve was injured. That was the most that Invincible has had to face up until that point. I mean, he's fighting himself.
I said, how did you get here?
I heard you the first time, dipshit!
Blaming himself.
Cecil! I need you, Cecil!
And watching all of his friends being killed. by himself.
Kill them too fast and then it's over. No torture, no screaming, no fun. This sucks. We're not dead yet. Hey!
To say Invincible is 100% during this would change things drastically, but we'll keep everyone in character during this battle. By this point in time, the Guardians of the Globe would be fighting robots and using teamwork to take down constructor bots and turrets, while Cecil is contacting heroes via comm links, communication links, letting his heavy hitters know that whoever is in charge of this attack has to be on the Star Destroyer looking planet, shooting robots down to Earth. You know, if that's not obvious enough. This would be a battle on two fronts, with the winning condition for Cecil being, can he divide his forces into two teams, Team Space and Team Earth? And would the Space team be able to find and defeat Jack before Team Earth gets overwhelmed and vaporized by Jack's robots? Invincible, Tech Jacket, and Adam Eve would likely be the ones sent to Helios, as any others would severely weaken the defenses for Earth, with none of them coming back alive. Now, I was thinking of putting Immortal on that team that would go up and face Jack, and then I thought about it. He probably wouldn't go with them. More than likely, during this full-scale invasion, he would be with the rest of his team on Earth, handling Earth's problems. That's literally what they're there for. So, if you say he does go up with Invincible, I feel like it does help their team quite a bit, and we could probably talk about that and how that would change, but I don't think it's anything drastic. If Invincible isn't putting, come on now, if Invincible, Tech Jacket, and Adam Eve aren't putting a stop to a villain, what is Immortal gonna do? Come on now. Even Vandal Savage from DC is stomping Immortal. Like, stop it, okay? Yeah, he could stay his ass in Earth, bro. He ain't going nowhere. But this scenario of Invincible, Tech Jacket, and Adam Eve is the best case for Cecil, but it's a bad position at the same time, because you're taking your heaviest hitters and sending them to space, which is the only way he's going to defeat Handsome Jack. You got to get on top of this guy ASAP. Now, Angel being able to tell Jack that 3 superheroes are flying towards him would allow them the time to prepare a counter by sending moonshots towards them. Eve either shielding them or Mark trying to punch through it. Angel's literally the complete ace up Jack's sleeve, if I'm being honest. She's the determining factor as for who wins in this entire scenario, and I'm gonna explain why. But Jack is very smart, and likely he's gonna gauge their abilities while they're on the way up to the space station. So seeing Mark punch through robots and Eve manipulating matter like a siren would likely pique Jack's interest, putting it lightly. But with Angel already having combat footage of each of them through the robots that were initially sent to invade Earth, Invincible, Tech Jacket, and Adam Eve would be fighting through countless robots and holding their own, with each robot they destroy giving Angel information and Jack insight towards how they can beat them. But what makes Angel shine is the fact that she is human AI. She's omnipresent across Hyperion's network. Her siren abilities aren't just physical, like most sirens, they're technological, giving her full control over machines and servers, any GDA system or connected device is vulnerable. She could find the schematics for sonic disruptors designed to counter Viltrumites. With just seconds, Hyperion could build upgraded robots to target Mark, and at that point, victory is almost certain. With there not being much Cecil can do without going offline and shutting everything down to prevent it, in which it would be just too late at that point. Now, if we compare the GDA to a superpower like the United States government, this outcome is very likely, as Angel is basically Cortana from Halo, but on steroids. She's integrated into every weapon, every robot, and capable of acting simultaneously across both planets. All it takes is one touch, one USB, or a single Hyperion robot to come into contact with the GDA. She only needs one access point, in which it's game over. Likely, Invincible gets taken out or held captive by the upgraded robots the second that they land on the Helios space station. The Helios space station, for those who don't know, is practically Hyperion's castle, okay? You think the robots in Borderlands 2 that were sent to Pandora were crazy? The Helios space station it's basically Hyperion City, all over the world. Okay. It kind of reminds me of like War World, but it doesn't really travel. It just rotates around Pandora. But for the sake of arguing, which would come out on top between Helios and Earth, we're gonna act like it's the fucking Star Destroyer. Okay. We're gonna act like it's a mobile or moving around, even though it really doesn't. We'll just say it's We'll just say it's orbiting. Ah, fuck, man. We'll just say it's orbiting. We're just gonna say it's orbiting around Earth, okay? Why was that so hard to say? Yeah, that's weird. Anyways, back to what I was saying. So Invincible likely gets taken out. Jack would personally go down and capture Eve using the same collar inhibitor. I think this is kind of what changes everything, because Eve could easily destroy these robots. Invincible would wear himself out doing the same thing. Eve is kind of like their trump card on their side, if I was being honest. But yeah, Jack would personally go down there, capture Eve using the same collar inhibitor he used on his daughter to control her. And if not, you could also make the argument that having the schematics of sonic disruptors would also allow them to find out that Eve has an inhibitor chip preventing her from using her full powers, in which they can create a collar that amplifies the effects or completely nullifies her powers entirely. Or you could argue they could just create the same ones that was used when Multipole tried to escape prison. Now, Tech Jacket would be left to fight an endless army of robots, pretty much leaving Cecil left, which Jack would likely just teleport down to Earth the same way he did Roland and put a bullet through him, pretty much. Now, this is how Handsome Jack from Borderlands wins against Invincible Universe. Specifically during the Invincible War arc, as any other arc would likely be a losing battle. I think we all can agree that if Alan or Nolan were on Earth at the time this takes place, they would just blitz Handsome Jack and kill him pretty swiftly. The deciding factor is that Earth by this point in time is pretty weakened, which is why I used this version of them. Yeah, the Invincible War was only catastrophic, or as catastrophic as it was, simply due to the fact that their strongest heroes were not on Earth at the time. That's literally just it. But Hyperion and their vast networking system and ability to produce weapons and robots within seconds using Digistruct technology, along with his daughter being capable of hacking virtually everything, makes this encounter very close but in Jack's favor. But yeah, this is my thoughts on if Invincible's universe were to have a fight with Borderlands. I think this is a pretty good take. If you guys think I'm wrong or have anything to say, feel free to tell me in the comments. I know a lot of you guys are going to be mad. I'm also a big Invincible fan, okay? But I can admit when Mark is going to get his ass beat, and this is one of those moments. Now, if you guys want to prove me wrong or disagree with the video, let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, leave a thumbs up and comment your opinions down below. Thank you for watching. Soul out.